right, so moving on to our next thing now, which is Google DeepMind. DeepMind is the artificial intelligence arm of Google that they created a artificial intelligence engine, right? And the engine learned to do many things. It learned to play chess. It learned to play a game called Go. It even learned to play StarCraft. You used to play StarCraft?
No.
Nah, StarCraft. All right, yeah. Okay, damn it. I had to keep remembering that a little bit older than you. But everybody used to play StarCraft, boy.
No,
Like,
lovely.
all right. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Just
So
now, before we continue, just going back a little bit to WePay in terms of their fees.
yeah.
A question here, their fee is 3% per transaction plus 25 cents US.
Yeah.
Right? So on each transaction, if you spend $100, it's 3% of that plus 25 cents US. So that's
But they
their
have
processing fee.
the ability for the merchant to absorb or the customer to absorb.
Yeah.
It right. So sometimes, well, most of the times the merchant does tell you, well, customer had to absorb the taxes, but you could also split it 50-50 if you want. So and then, well, when you have to deposit to your account, like to your local bank account, it's $5.
Yeah. Any amount. So if you have 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, $5 to withdraw to your local bank account.
Yeah. So the customer could pay the taxes, and you could even set that in the API when you set any plugin on WordPress. You could set all of that one time, so the customer will just see the final amount and not the amount that you have. It will see the amount plus taxes, and it will give you like a breakdown. So yeah, that's we paid in. They did not pay us to say this, right? Cool. Yeah, so Google, right? Google has this AI that learn how to play various games. It learn to play chess. It mash up the grandmaster in chess easily, no questions asked. That was nice too. They learn a game called Go, a Chinese game called Go, and that mash up all the grandmasters, and they was like in total awe. Then they learned to play StarCraft, and it beat all the StarCraft people easily. Now they have taught them how to play football. So watch this video, right? For those of you who are on the podcast, we'll put the link in the show notes. You will see that the humanoids on them, right? They basically taught these humanoids to run by themselves a while ago. And after teaching them how to run by themselves, they gave them some training videos on how to run like a footballer and different things that footballers do, and how to follow a ball. Now the whole concept of AI is all you have to do is give them the goal that they have to accomplish, and then train them in certain skills. So when you train them in certain skills and tell them the goal they have to accomplish, then you put them out there and you do a model. So you would see, look, I'll pause it here, right? Learning to run, dribble, and shoot took 1.5 simulated years or 24 hours in real time. So this program just running 24 hours a day, and it's simulating 1.5 years. And in 1.5 years, the humanoids learn how to run and dribble. Now, the way they run in real, they run in and they lean in and all that kind of stuff, that's easy to fix because they could just teach them how to run better. But the fact that they were able to teach them, kick a ball, pass it to your other player.
So sorry, I want to know. So I myself, I play football now. Not at a high level, but I play football.
Yeah.
In the past, I currently play football. I sweat twice a week and everything. I play FIFA as well, although I ain't played in a while. So, what's the difference between something like this and the AI in a game like FIFA? Because when you look at a game like FIFA, it looks way more advanced than something like this, and that's more or less AI as well.
The AI
you could simulate two teams playing together without you having any input, and it will simulate and play, and they will defend, they will attack, they will change the tactics, everything. So
the AI,
I guess the starting point will be different in terms of how they go about doing it, how they go about achieving the end goal.
From what I know, right? From what I know with respect to FIFA and AI in any game like Call of Duty or whatnot or that kind of things, what it does do, right, is this let humans play. And there's like create almost like a recording of the human playing, and then they give the AI those recordings to say, okay, this is the sample set of things that you could do in the game, and these are the things that are applicable to winning a game, right? So they will record two people playing, and then they'll feed that into the machine and feed it. In this case, right, they didn't record any playing. They just gave three things: how to dribble, how to pass, and when a goal is scored. And then the AI has to figure out how to do everything else. So like in like Call of Duty and them kind of thing, right? What is do is be like, okay, let's play a game and show the AI how to lean out and shoot, how to run fast, how to slide and whatnot. That's why sometimes you see them doing the same actions over and over, because they're predictable. Like there is a level of predictability in the AI that we have in games, in normal games. But this one here, them men moving real unpredictable. Like what you did.
So I mean, I guess the starting point different. That's more or less starting from scratch. And games, you know, you have input, you have, you know, they have something to work with.
Yeah, and it's the same thing that happened with the when they was playing the Chinese game called Go. All the grandmasters and them was like, yo, I never see anybody play like this in my life, and I play in this for 60 years. Like our 80-year-old man was like, nah, I never see what kind of move is that? That don't making sense. It's not logical. But what the AI was doing is basically saying, okay, I think this makes sense, and they're gonna help me win. And in the end they win, because now, like what we traditionally know as artificial intelligence is not like predetermined stuff. Well, artificial intelligence, really and truly, it's supposed to be, they learn by themselves.
You start from a blank slate.
Without any external input. So I don't know. I want to think about what the pros and cons of this kind of training, because when you think about artificial intelligence, you could train a computer to do anything. Because you could simulate years and years and years of practice in short spaces of time. So like in this example, 24 hours, they train them to play football for 1.5 years. Think of like a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old child spending 1.5 years playing football every single day.
Yeah, he used to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Of course, Goku.
So it's like when Goku went in the chamber.
Yeah, it's like when Goku and you're training against the 100 gravity, and you're training against the gravity. Like you will get better.
The time inside there was like, like 3 years past. Outside the time was, you know, so they kind of accelerating it. So it'll take us 3 years to learn the AI. You know, you reduce that time. So that there, you know, in itself, how we limited by time in terms of time and effort, and you know, but AI, once you have high enough computing power, you know, they could shorten that time.
Well, and the word time, boy, time is the key part of this thing, boy. Like we don't have time to learn all them things. So we could apply AI to real plenty things, right? But it has some real bad things you could apply this technology to. Like when it comes to war and thing, right? And you training a drone in battle simulations, and you could simulate 50,000 drone strikes until a drone gets smart enough to be like, yeah, I know how to hit any single thing at any point in time. Once you just put this little beacon on them, I hitting it within a millimeter. And
I mean,
I feel that will cause a problem.
I wouldn't be surprised if you could think it, if I could think it, it probably already happening. Yeah, that's how I just feel. If we could think about it, it probably already happening, and probably far worse.
I scared for this. Scared for this. Yeah, I think for the human part, like you see, the scientists on them, they're real genuine in their way of, you know, this is fun for them, this is very good, this is joyful and all that kind of thing. Like that's what does get them off to be like, hey, we get this thing to work and whatnot. But you see when the politics and stuff started coming.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just politics. Once money started fall into place. Yeah. I mean, they could have all the best intentions in the world, but if somebody come and lay $20 billion on your plate and say, hey, how I do this for me? And it's not necessarily something ethical. You know, money tend to, bring out your true colors. If you're a genuine good person, you might be able to reach us. But it's I mean, power and money would always have a big influence on us, and AI would be no different. So I don't. You're always gonna run the risk of it not being used in a good or ethical way.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to see this AI like work in my YouTube recommendations. I know exactly what I want to see when I want to see it. I know exactly what I didn't know I wanted to see, because that's what Googlers do all of this for. Googlers like do all this research and all that kind of stuff, and then they try to apply it into their back end of their cash cow. Talk about that Stadia closed down. Like I
mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not
yeah,
surprised at all because our model,
yeah, Google beta
not just the
test the thing
model,
on
but
people by
the actual technical side of it. The input lag. You can't have games, online games, especially if you're gonna play competitive games like COD. That you need good input.
Yeah. And people internet just trashy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're ready for that. He wasn't ready for it, and I mean, I thought other services that have a similar model might not necessarily be streaming, but offer games as part of a package. Like I think Microsoft or Xbox, like their library catalog was way better than Stadia.
Yeah.